Hello everybody and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Marvel 80 Years fan channel exclusive Invincible Iron Man in his stealth suit. Here we have the stealth suit Iron Man displayed in the front window. We do have all of his accessories on display there, and then at the bottom the Invincible Iron Man logo. On the side, we see a very cool shot of Iron Man standing tall, pointing his repulsor blast hand at us, and that is going to be the same artwork on both sides. On the back, we do have a product shot of the figure, as well as a brief read-up. Tony Stark modifies his suit for stealth capabilities to take on cybernetically enhanced ninjas. And at the bottom, we have the UPC code, so you can check with places like GameStop and Best Buy to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at the Invincible Iron Man. And here is Iron Man outside of his packaging. And real quick, I know I just mentioned like GameStop and Best Buy as places to find fan channel figures, but you can also find them on websites like Big Bad Toy Store, or of course Hasbro's own site, HasbroPulse.com, which is actually where I got mine. But with the figure, it's pretty cool looking, actually. It is based on the same body sculpt as the Invincible Iron Man figure that we got in one of the Black Panther waves a little bit ago. So it's going to be the exact same figure in terms of the sculpt work, but of course we have this whole new design to him with the darker sort of gunmetal gray and then the blue highlights for all of the panel effects. So it's a pretty cool looking figure. We don't get an alternate head like we did with the other Iron Man, but we do get some pretty cool accessories, including a energy sword that has a pretty standard hilt design, and then it does have a translucent yellow for the blade, so that's pretty cool looking. And then, of course, we get the standard Iron Man blast effects. This time, though, they are not going to have any translucence to them. They are going to be a very opaque color with the blue at the base and then going into the white. I'm actually okay with this color palette. It actually fits pretty nicely with the figure in terms of the color scheme. And then we do get a couple sets of alternate hands, starting with a pair of fisted hands, a pair of blast effect hands with the holes for the blast effects, and I will mention that these do not have hinges on them. They will always be in this blast pose. And then finally a pair of gripping hands for both the left and right, so you can have him hold that sword in either hand that you want. Now, when standing straight up, this figure is coming in at about 6.5 inches tall, which makes him about 16.5 centimeters, so he's your standard Marvel Legends height. Now, when looking at this figure, I'm already having some fun posing him and things like that, but I have noticed a couple of little flaws with some of the paint and things like that is really nothing out of the ordinary for some of the Marvel Legends figures to have slight paint defects. But overall, so far I've liked this figure quite a bit. But let's go ahead and jump into the paint and sculpt and take a look at some of those little paint issues that I'm talking about and get a better look here at Iron Man. And getting up close here, you might already see the one big flaw that I have with this particular figure. So on this eye, you can see we have blue paint in the eye and then white paint above it. But on this side, the blue paint is missing out of the eye, but you can see a sliver of that blue paint underneath the white paint. So it looks like the blue paint for this eye was just misaligned, and unfortunately that has led to a winking Iron Man for me. So that's a little bit of a letdown, but not the end of the world. The rest of the paint on the head, it's not bad, but it could have been a little bit better there. Screen right, you can see a little bit shorter on the paint up here, where it's thinner and then thicker on that side. So that is, it is what it is. And then we can see, too, as we go throughout, like, there's just some spots where the paint gets a little bit splotchy. There, and, yeah, there. It's not going along the panel lines, so, and like that side it is. So, unfortunately, there's a few spots where the paint isn't perfect, but unfortunately, that is kind of to be expected. It is sort of just what you get with these figures. So I don't want to make it sound like, too bad, but this is a $20 figure. This isn't an $80 premium format. But looking at the sculpt, though, I really like the sculpt work. I love like the spine here on the back, and all the panel lines are very cool. And I do like the color choice for that paint. It almost does look like it's glowing. I think the light blue really helps to accent this gray. And then I should mention, too, when we get close on the gray, so we have those little flakes on the inside that really give this a feeling that it's metal. And I think that is really well done. And I will mention, I don't really see a whole lot of marbling. I mean, there's little hints of it, like right there. And I think you can kind of see some right there on the chest. But the marbling is not bad. So I'm pretty happy with that. Because this is using that infamous Iron Man, or same thing, infamous and invincible Iron Man sculpt, if you do want to put the Tony Stark head on this figure from the Invincible Iron Man, you can. It doesn't look bad. I will say it was kind of weird, though. I did have to heat the head up to get it on here, almost like it was a different size ball joint or ball peg, but I don't think it was. I think maybe I just had to heat it up to get it on there. But anyway, with the rest of the figure, I really like this Iron Man sculpt. I think it's really cool, sleek, slender, but still very much looks, I don't know, just looks like Iron Man. So very cool, though. I do like the blue paint, though, as it goes throughout the figure. Like I said, it just looks like it's glowing. So very well done in terms of the concept. So looking at the articulation, so of course you have a head that can go all the way around. Can look down, not too bad. Look up, yeah, that's about it. He does have arms that can come up. Am I digging in? Yep, that's going to start hitting. So the arms can't go straight up very far or even back, but you do get full rotation. And one thing I will say, because this front part is cut so far in, it's not a butterfly joint, but you do have some reach to be able to bring his arm across his chest, which is actually kind of cool. So like if you want to do the blasters, you can actually do the blasters straight out and even have his arms crossed. So that is something that is really impressive, that without butterfly joints, you can actually bring those arms across the body. Now, you do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Then you do have rotation and hinge, with the exception, of course, of the blaster hands that do not have a hinge. His ab crunch can go down, not too bad. And then it can go back quite a ways as well, and we can see the paint and sculpt does continue on the front end, so that's actually cool. He does have a waist rotation there, legs that can come apart about that far, kick forward actually pretty high, backwards not much at all, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then he does have a hinge and ankle pivot. And that is going to do it for this review, everyone. So overall, I think this is actually a very well done figure. I know that we've seen this sculpt work before, but having an updated stealth suit Iron Man, I think is actually pretty cool. And like I said, I just really like the blue. The blue accents on here, I think, really helps kind of sell this almost as just the glowing panels, which, if they are supposed to be glowing, that's a little counterintuitive to being stealth. But either way, still a very cool looking figure, and I've gone and messed up my pose there. He won't stand up. There we go. But anyway, as I said, that is it for this review. I do think this is a figure worth picking up if you are just into sort of the Hall of Armor for Iron Man, which I think a lot of us really do like having, just the different variations of Iron Man. So I think it's worth picking up, and I actually really like the articulation on this figure. I kind of wanted to do sort of this pose here where he's got his other arm across his chest, just to kind of show off that even with that lack of a butterfly joint, you can get some range on it. So anyway, that is going to be it for the review. So make sure you hit that like button if you liked it. Share if you can. Feel free to share this wherever you want. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. And as always, thanks for watching my videos, and have a great day.